what you have to do is believe. If you actually believe that God can answer, the very next day, the whole car park had red vehicles. Not one brand, but all of them were red. It made them look like it was just one particular brand. And as if that was not enough, there was a pitched flag in a football pitch, and it was a red flag. It is because of love. And I usually compare that love to the love of men, because in the Bible it is written, men should love their wives. Hi there, it's Kerubo here, and welcome back to another exciting episode. This one is an exciting episode because I found this video that was engaging with the audience a lot more than many other videos do, especially reels on Instagram. This girl posted this photo and said, she posted it as a reel and said, "I'm bored. What is the funniest thing God has ever done or said to you? Like I'm talking top humor moments with God." And you know me, I'll just go to the comment section and actually see if people will actually try and humor her. And the comment section did not disappoint. Sips water. Very mindful. One of the comments went, "I jokingly told God the person who sits next to me on the flight was the one." That was a full plane, but my row was empty. It's funny how God works when we are actually very serious and when we actually believe. He shows up and he does not stutter. Another one said, "I confessed to God that I was still hung up on this hot guy who wasn't single. So I asked for help to be less attracted to him. The next day, this dude walks by with a shaved head." Do you know how bad a shaved head can make a person look? Especially after this prayer. This prayer where if he's not the one, let me lose feelings for him. That prayer is one crazy prayer. I made that prayer a year ago, I believe. Instantaneously, the whatever it was ended. I struggled with secondary infertility for 2 years, and I jokingly told people I wasn't pregnant yet because God was probably going to give me twins. I am now almost 10 weeks pregnant with twin girls. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, God shows up and he shows off all the time. I was having a really bad anxiety attack last week about my dream, and when I was on my way to Dunkin', I saw a "Why are you panicking when you can just pray about it" sticker. God always finds a way to our hearts and reminds us that he's there and he's actually watching over us, even when we don't believe that he is. Another one said, "I was thinking about my ex, and a car pulled up in front of me with a license plate saying, 'Ew.' That's disgusting." I don't know if you've seen that kid who says, "That's disgusting." On one of the reels on Instagram, that is the vibe this comment is giving me. "The Lord told me to name our son Elisha. Our last name is Bone, like literally the bone. It didn't click until a few months later when I was reading about how Elisha's bones brought a man back to life." Lots of laughter. So in a way, God is telling this particular mother that her son will be a way in which people will gain life and life in abundance. How beautiful is that? During Bible study, my best friend and I were making fun of Moses and his stuttering. Few days later, we couldn't stop stuttering over every sentence we made. I know. God has a way of humbling you as well. You might think that, it's all good and crispy. It was just a joke. But wait until the joke backfires and it now turns into a reality. He'll be back to give us this testimony. One night, I asked God to help me remember to pray before eating because I was really having trouble with that. And the next day, I choked on my food and that reminded me. That was the only sign she needed. And God said, "Say less, my daughter." One night I prayed, "God, please help me get up and out of bed in the morning." The next morning, on my loft bed, a huge cockroach was at my feet. Only cockroach we had in that house to this very day. She wanted God to help her get out of bed, and believe it or not, he said, I got you, I got you, I got you. You don't have to repeat it. I got it, I got it. I was doing my makeup and asked Jesus what colors I should do. Then my next thought was, Jesus wouldn't know. Then I had, please look at a sunset, I can blend. And that's period. I made a joke in a Bible study that when we pray, we shouldn't put in stupid stuff. And I used the example of wanting cake to magically appear in my fridge. The next day, I went to the fridge and there was cake. Believe it or not, it had magically appeared. Or what exactly happened? I think my dad brought it home, but he didn't know about what I said at Bible study. I think God was telling me that nothing is too stupid to pray about. He probably laughed a bit too. Lots of laughter. He does have a good sense of humor, and he has a way of telling you that there is nothing too stupid, too small, too big, or too insignificant that he cannot hear. I asked God to show me a yellow car on my way home. If I should break up with this dude, they were 6. 6 yellow cars. I remember this other reel I saw on Instagram where this lady said that, Lord, if he's not the one, just bring in a red car in the car park outside. So this car park is commercial, whereby vehicles come and park and pay, because there they are safe and they can access their vehicles easily whenever they want to. The very next day, the whole car park had red vehicles. Not one brand, but all of them were red. It made them look like it was just one particular brand. And as if that was not enough, there was a pitched flag in a football pitch, and it was a red flag. Oh my God. I think when you actually believe, God will show you and he will answer you. Asked God for a sign that I should stop talking to my ex, and a huge truck with my ex's name in big red letters cut me off on the road moments later. What are the odds? Seriously, what are the odds that this would actually happen? One day I was dozing off in church in the middle of a preaching, and I heard a verse related to, don't be lazy. I sat up straight. You can't sleep again. Where do you get the strength to sleep? My parents prayed that if I was going to date anyone in high school, it would at least be a good Christian boy. I dated a boy named Christian. That did not work out. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, you don't need to date anyone in high school. Do what took you there, and that is study, and then when you're done, you can go home and look for somebody to date you. I prayed for an amazing husband who loves animals. His love language will be physical touch. He will live in the small village I grew up in, a different country, and that his name will be Lucas. And oh, he has to have brown eyes. Guess who has a husband named Lucas with brown eyes, who built a house 500 meters from the house I grew up in with 2 dogs and 2 cats. He builds me everything and has to be near to touch me at all times. Specific. When you're specific, when you know what you want, why shouldn't God give you that, right? Asked God to motivate me to clean my bathroom because it felt overwhelming. Later that day, a friend calls and says she's 5 minutes away and can she please use my bathroom. I've never cleaned the bathroom so fast in my life. Not only did she get the motivation to clean, but she hastily did it such that she couldn't even second guess it. As a kid, I had a picture book of Bible stories and I was really into the love stories. I asked God to find the greatest love story for me. I opened up to a picture of him on the cross. I think about that all the time. Isn't that the greatest love story? I mean, he would have said, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going back to heaven. You guys might as well die. But he said, absolutely not. It is because of love. And I usually compare that love to the love of men, because in the Bible it is written, men should love their wives just as Christ loved the church. Christ loved the church. He could die for it. Can that guy die for you? Just saying, I don't want anyone to die, but can he die for you? I don't know. Let's leave it at that. I asked God that if my next boyfriend would be the one to bring me yellow flowers for the first time. And when he brought me flowers for the first time, he said, I know you love the color purple, but I got you yellow instead. Hope that's okay. And I kind of freaked out a little. Okay, why are you freaking out? I mean, you've asked God for the sign if he's the one. And here you are saying you're freaking out. Why exactly are you freaking out? You should be very much encouraged and happy, because this is the perfect sign. If God approves of it, no one else can disapprove, and no one can put it asunder. I was in a toxic relationship and asked God what I should do. I opened the Bible up to the verse, run for your life. I don't know what verse that is, but if you do, please drop it down in the comment section. I was playing high school baseball in the outfield. I was talking to God about my life, and suddenly he says, focus on the game, which I replied, no, since I wanted to keep talking. 30 seconds later, the ball comes right at me and hits me in the face. He said, should have listened. I'm fully convinced he was laughing, definitely, because he knew at this point in time it's not about you, it's about the game. Focus on the game, and at times you just have to focus on what is before you. Don't overthink it, don't deep it, just focus. And the last one is, my mom always says to pray specific prayers, because she always prayed to marry someone taller than her and someone who is rich. She is married to my dad, who is 1 inch taller than her, whose name is Rich. It's not about the money at the end of the day, it's about the prayer. You made it and it was answered. I would actually want such a prayer to be answered in my life, because it just shows that God approves of whatever I'm doing. It makes God as real as possible. There are times people might say, well, I also prayed the same prayer and I got no answer. What was the problem? Didn't I pray enough? Didn't I actually ask enough? What you have to do is believe. If you actually believe that God can answer, he will. He will always answer. The why has to come into contact with the outcome. If you're doing this for views or likes, you just might get that, but it's not sustainable in the long term. It might end up ruining much of your personal life and your future rather than making it. But if you're in this so that you can find a personal relationship with God and he can change your life, then he will most definitely show up and show off. Not just show out, he will show off. I saw another video whereby this atheist said, if God is actually real, let lightning strike in 3, 2, 1. And the moment he got to 1, lightning just struck. I believe it struck. And he was surprised. He was like, wow. And I believe from then he believed. If you actually want to know who God is, what his purpose for your life is, and why you're actually here, say such a prayer today. Say such a prayer now, and tell me how it will pan out in the comment section. I hope you learned something of value. Please be sure to check out my socials on TikTok and on Instagram. I usually post trailers over there, so you know what's coming. Yes, absolutely. And I will see you in the next video.